It must be some type of like emotional response that people want to act really quick and not miss out on it. I'm surprised they didn't have something like some countdown that was like, you can only get it like until Friday. Oh my God.
Okay, so the buy two, get three free
that was going to end soon?
Was today only.
Oh,
yes. But
you just happened to get it on the right day?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I bet
You're so lucky, Sean
I go
Mathis.
tomorrow.
Hey, what's up? It's Torie Mathis, your host, and I am here with the one and only Sean Mathis, founder of Miles Through Time Automotive Museum.
Hey, that's me.
So Sean was telling me about a watch that he found on Instagram the other day and thought that he could get a really great deal on an awesome watch, but as it turns out, that may not be true. What's going on with this watch, Sean Mathis?
So this watch,
Tell me again.
I saw it on Instagram, and it was cool looking. You know, it caught my eye, and so I wanted to know more about it. I was curious how much it would cost.
Cool.
And I wound up clicking through, went to their website, and saw that it was a little bit less than what I thought it would have been, which was my first red flag.
Like enough less than it was like, this isn't right?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like, holy cow, that's, $40 watch, and it looks like it's a $1,000 watch. But it was just over $100. And then I could see they had 5 watches to choose from. Okay. And if you bought 2 of them, you could get the third one for free. And it was weird. So I'm like, it doesn't seem, and then it's like made in America. It was emphasizing, and it's not an American name. Like, it totally doesn't sound American. And so, like, all these I'm thinking about, so I go back to the Instagram page, and I look, and I can see they just created
They're just like, let's say made in America, people will buy it.
Well, and that's what it seemed like.
Okay.
And they had, I could see the end of their post, like, they haven't been doing it for very long. They had, like, 20 followers or something. I'm like, well, okay, maybe they just did it here. So I jump over and I look on.
Did somebody share this, or did you see an ad?
It was an ad initially.
Okay, so they're actually paying to get in front of you. Okay.
Yeah, so they had just started it. And so I go to Facebook and I look them up. And it's the same thing. There's nobody following this page. It's very new. And then I wound up seeing a Facebook ad for it as well while I'm on there. So they put money on both sides.
They have their stuff set up for retargeting. Okay.
Right, so I'm like, and so so now I Google the name. Because I'm like, there's something fishy about this damn watch company. And I Google the name, and I find nothing other than the Facebook page and their website. And it all matches. So I'm like, oh, that's weird. Because it was nothing like the electric bikes that we found.
Oh, the bikes. Oh, Sean found these bikes, these electric bikes that are usually, they're like several grand. They're like little indie companies, like making these awesome they're bicycles, but then they make them electric, right? And they're very cool.
There's like a beach cruiser style electric bike.
And they're electric, like super awesome. And Sean's like, oh my gosh, look at it. They have them for like $200 or $300, which is like, 10% of the regular cost that they would be, right? Yeah,
and so on those bikes, I could go back to the page that was marketing them for sale and go, yeah, that's not the right place.
These people, though, were using the actual company's name, the actual company's products, like the product pictures. So Sean contacted the company because, red flags that all these other things weren't adding up. And the company said, we're trying to get these pages taken down, that people keep popping up these pages, stealing our photos, trying to get orders, and then you're just not going to get your bike because they don't have the bikes.
And it's crazy because of how many ads you get rejected all the time that are legit. Because it's an ad that has been running forever, all of a sudden, just like that, gets denied.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense, and yet these companies can keep doing it. I mean, I saw one that was a Lego Bugatti. Now, these Lego Bugattis,
those things are expensive.
Yeah, they're a couple
pricey.
$100, and so again, I don't get the scam. Because, like, something that is a couple $100 and they're selling it for, like, 10, like, to me, there's, but apparently it works for some people. And so, it's a bummer for them to lose money because they're never going to get it. So I like to do a little bit more research than just take my money. That's a killer deal.
Right.
And so back to this watch. I go and I see it is the company. You know, it's maybe it's a baby company. I don't know. But I go back to their website to do a little bit more research, and I see there's reviews on these watches. And I'm like, all right, so somebody's bought this watch to tell me if it's garbage or not. And I see that every single one of these reviews has a photo with it. I'm like, well, that's odd. Usually, not everybody takes the time.
Not for a company like a watch. Like if you were like a coaching company and like you worked hand in hand with people, I could see you using ones. But for a watch, probably not photos.
Yeah, so I go through and I mean, they're all perfect 5-star. And the photos of these watches on these models are too good. You know, they're not like, here's the watch I just got snapped that they shared, and it's kind of blurry. You're like, hey, they totally bought that watch and, you know, took it at home. Now, these are like professionally taken photos, and I'm just like, that shit is fake, man. There's no way that's real. I don't understand why they wouldn't, like, make the price $600, and then I'd be like, all right, that's a $600 watch, and it's a brand new company. But in this case, there's no reviews on it. The page is too new.
It must be some type of like emotional response that people want to act really quick and not miss out on it. I'm surprised they didn't have something like some countdown that was like, you can only get it like until Friday. Oh my God.
Okay, so the buy 2 get 3 free.
Oh, that was going to end soon?
Was today only.
Oh,
yes. But
you just happened to get it on the right day?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You're so lucky, Sean Mathis.
I go to right now, it'll probably still say that same thing.
You could set up those things so that like it's every day it'll restart, or for every person it'll restart. So those little countdown calendars for...
Actually, I kept going back to try to find it to see if somebody else is like commenting on these things to be like, you know, I did get the watch or whatever the case may be. And no, there's nothing about it. And the thing is it was generic everywhere. Website, pages, there was nothing that led me to believe that this was a brand new company, that it would explain why, you know, it just started.
Okay, so looking at this in a marketing point of view, I think there's two things here. If you're a new company, frickin' say you're a new company. We're brand new. And maybe make a video or something of you so people see that you are brand new. And that's why you don't have any of this, you know, social proof type of stuff. You don't have reviews. You don't have a bazillion followers on Instagram, because that's totally fine. And I think people really want to support new businesses. So if you're a new business, grab onto that and I think roll with it. Putting pictures of yourself, your staff, real pictures too, like not just the fancy ones, stock photography looking, or very professional ones. I think casual photos really show that you're a real person.
Yeah, and I think like watches, it's super easy to slap a fake watch onto a wrist.
For sure.
And that's the thing is I didn't know who created this company. There was no bio about anybody that, you know, why these designs are the way they are. It was just a bunch of generic mumbo jumbo talking about garbage, really.
We're made in America.
To explain it and tell me it's made in America. Where really I'd like to know like who started this and why, and explain the design, and it's new and you've got only so many initial launch design, and it's this price, you know, for a short time until we get whatever the case may be, that would explain to me all the red flags that I'm seeing.
Right.
And they didn't do it, which leads me to believe it's not real.
So, like I said, it's okay if your business is new and you don't have all of these things yet. I would say that your business is new, just launched, you know, something like that, so that there aren't these red flags. But I see businesses all the time that have been around forever, and there are still these red flags. So let's talk about how we can fix some of these, because the power of social proof, you know, we talked about that there weren't reviews and things like that on there, are huge for getting people to trust and want to buy what you have. And so if you don't give these social cues to people, because there are so many people trying to rip people off online, like it's one of the number one ways that you can really easily gain trust. Because people want to do, and people feel comfortable doing, what other people have already been doing. So you need to give that comfort to people that are coming to you so that they want to do business with you. It's a way to gain trust. And then telling the story is another thing. It's a way that people start to like you and to understand, because if they understand the why, it's giving them a little bit of a connection to your business. And then it also might be covering up some of those red flags, like, why are there only 5 watches?
Well, and see, I did this for years with Miles Through Time. I mean, I let everybody know, hey, we've only been open for a month. We've only been open for 6 months. We've only been open for a year. And explained, why there's only so many cars in there and the story behind why. Like, I rode that for years.
Well, if you don't set up that expectation, then people are like, ugh. Like, right. I expected, fancy 1,000 cars. Okay. Like, 150 cars, and they come in and there's 25. Like, it's kind of a little bit strange.
We do have more than 25 cars now.
That is true.
For a while, though, there was
wasn't.
Like 10.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I literally started it with one. The second one was the guy that installed the internet. So that was 2. It was borderline, and I wouldn't say it was embarrassing, but it kind of was in the sense that I'm trying to portray this museum, right? And I'm charging people to go into it.
Again, though, if you don't say you're new, it's fucking weird.
Right, which is why I really wanted everybody to know that, like, this is brand new, and right. Tell them. I was so efficient at the rundown of, where we started to where we were at that point in time, that after that, they were like, oh, this is super neat. And nothing else mattered. It didn't matter that we didn't have more cars or it was bigger or fancier or more stuff in general. They knew, it just started.
So there are ways that you can garner some of this trust from people, especially online, because there are so many people that might be trying to rip people off, and we don't want that to happen. So some of the ways that you can get some social proof for your business, whether you're new or I think especially if you've been around for a while, like sometimes you got to work at some of this, and it's easy. I mean, even me, I deal with the clients that I deal with. I know that they love me, and I don't really ask for this kind of stuff with them. I'm busy working with them. And so it's really easy to not ask for any type of social proof. But there are other ways. We think of it and you think of reviews, and maybe that's the only type of social proof that there is out there. But there's actually a lot of other ways that you can do it.
Like what?
So, like how many followers you have and how many people comment or like or things on your social media. That is a way of social proof. It shows that there are other people that know who you are and that they are engaging with your business. So the more of that you get, like you said, it was a red flag that there was only 20 people following. But if they would have said just launched, or they would have said something, you would have been like, oh, well, call me 21, It would have given you a way that you could have supported them in their newness. But if you're trying to be like this big, fancy company and not telling people that you're new, it's a little weird.
Yeah, I do pay attention to that quite a bit on how many followers that a company has. If they're trying to tell me they're super great, I directly relate that to how many other people think that they're great. Because, a company telling you they're great, that you expect to hear that. Right. They don't go, hey, we're a shitty company, you should buy from us. Right. Like, that doesn't happen. We're so great, everybody else has nothing on us. But you get a few people behind them that aren't associated with that company saying the same thing. Now I start to believe it.
Right. Well, and a way that you can do this is, and we talked about this with Miles Through Time, is that if you have a business that is new, you can take a picture of customers there. Take a picture of, like, let's say you have a pizza place and you're brand new, but you don't have a lot of reviews and stuff. Well, why don't you start taking pictures of people in the restaurant? That's a good way to start to show, hey, there are people here. We are a real business. Nobody's going to die when they come eat the pizza. Yeah. And then you can always ask for user pictures. So if you see businesses all the time say, take a picture and use hashtag Miles Through Time, and that way you can follow the tag hashtag Miles Through Time, and then you would know every time somebody posted a picture, and then you can then reshare that picture. And so companies like these watch companies, that is the time to do that. Like, you can say, get 10% off your next one, or do this if you share a picture of you with our watch. And so if you can figure out a way to get people to share their own photos of what they're doing with you, like, that is super huge.
Yep.
And, we talk about the karate dojo and stuff, and I know that they would probably love to have more social photos. If they did some type of contest like that every month, like, share your photos of your kiddos and use hashtag,
We had that one of Bella karate chop in the board.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
It was, and I did tag them, and then they in turn shared it and stuff like that. But that could be like a contest that they could do, because then all of my friends are going to see it, and then they go in turn and share it. And so if I'm willing to share photos of your business and say how awesome it is, like, that is so much bigger than if the business just shared it.
Absolutely.
So, and I think that any business can do this, from, selling frozen yogurt to, I don't know, accountants. I bet an accountant can figure out some way to do this. Like, there's ways for every single business to do this. And, there used to be that you could, like, check into places, and I think that didn't really take off.
Although you still can.
You still can do that, and maybe that's a start. You can start to do stuff like that. Sean is really good at Miles Through Time. There are stickers everywhere that say, like, to review us on TripAdvisor. We even like the new brochure that we made that's more like a guide that we give to people when they come into the museum. It asks for a review. Sean asks for reviews from people, and if you have like a travel-y type business, then it's a little bit easier to get reviews. However, whatever type, like a traveling type of business, what would that be? Like
tourism?
Like a touristy type business or a restaurant. Like, those get reviews. However, people are much quicker to give you a bad review than to give you a good review. So the good reviews you really have to ask for.
Yeah, you literally, eventually you will get some sort of bad review.
And it's going to happen, and that's fine.
Well, the thing is
but to me, that even shows, if you get a bad review, that shows that you're a person, and that these real reviews aren't, aren't fake, because
the bad review might not even be real. They wind up leaving, 1-star reviews for random places that, I mean, sometimes it's an accident, sometimes they're just jerks. I mean,
Sean has done this for a couple of our clients, that when they became clients of ours, we go on all of our clients and we try to clean up all of their social media, their Google page, like all of that kind of stuff. And one of the things that Sean does is checks out their reviews. And if there are 1-star reviews, then you can actually contact those people and be like, what can we do to make it better? And they'll be like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I left you a 1-star review. I can't tell you how many times Sean has come back and said, I'm like, seriously? Who are these people that are accidentally leaving you 1-star reviews? So if you don't actually do something about that, then, like, you would never know. And they removed them. They were like, we're so sorry. And they took the review off, and now no more 1-star reviews.
But if they don't remove it, you've got enough positive, real good reviews that it should outweigh them all. But even if they don't remove the 1-star, you just comment on there going, I don't know what you're talking about, basically, and, let us know how we can help. Tell them to email you or something like that. They never will. But at least somebody looking at that is going to be like, oh, the company does actually care.
They're really nice. Yeah, they care about what's going on. So another thing that you can do is, and this may at first seem like, I can't get that, I can't do that, but I think anybody can, and that is to get some type of endorsements or some type of celebrity influencer kind of endorsement or review. And like I said, you might think, like, I can't do that, but you've done that. Do you realize that you've done that?
No.
See? Sean doesn't even realize he's done that. So one of these is Sean was on a YouTube show, a big YouTuber guy here locally. And by getting on his YouTube show, because and at the time he wasn't even as big as he is now, but by being interviewed on his show, he was almost kind of like vouching for you a little bit. And now he has cars, the guy, inside of the museum, which again is vouching for you. And that has connected your business and you with more people. And if people are like, oh, well, if, Sean Mathis has Ed Bullion's cars in the museum, Sean Mathis must be pretty cool. And that's all it is. Like, it doesn't seem like, it's not like you went and found some Hollywood celebrity. Like, a celebrity just needs to be somebody that's known in the industry or known in the area. Another one that you had is you had the news guy come by, Paul Milligan.
Right.
He came by more than once. And if he's going to vouch for you, and if you guys are, buddies on TV and talk with each other and he had a great time, that again is another type of celebrity type endorsement. If you can get on your local TV and have the people come out and then they see you together, then people remember you, and people still point out, I saw you on the news. I saw you with Paul Milligan.
Well, that's kind of that, you say celebrity, but it also falls into influencer.
I said celebrity and influencer. Yeah, it definitely does. Like I said, people think they can't do it because they think it's outside of their realm, but it's been redefined.
Yeah, you just need people to talk about your product or your business or whatever the case may be that you're trying to sell. And the thing is once you get one person talking about it, more people start talking about it, and then you got that snowball effect start happening.
So even if you use the pizza place because everybody can relate to a pizza place. Let's say that you have a pizza place and you're like, well, how can I get celebrity? Well, if you find somebody in your local area that has a big following online, why don't you reach out to them and say, hey, come by and check out our pizza and you have some free pizza. Let us know what you think, and you kind of make a little bit of a thing about it. And then they would post that on their social media just to get in front of more people.
Don't feel ashamed to reach out to somebody. You find out that they're whether they need to be local or not, you just reach out to somebody and say that I want you to, hawk my stuff, basically. Here it is. Tell people how great it is, or let them know. And there's all kinds of people out there willing to do that kind of stuff. And
I think people want to, because a lot of these people that want to tell things that are interesting. They want to tell interesting stories, whether they have a podcast or they're a YouTuber or they're a blogger or, whatever they are. Like everybody wants these fancy Instagram photos. Like if you can give them something that they don't have to go think of some idea of them to do, then they will, probably want to do it with you. So another thing that you can use, and that is actually social proof, is like showing any type of certifications, any achievements that you have, because that's showing that somebody else has vouched for you. So if your business has those types of things, I think that it's a good thing for you to put on your website. Doesn't mean it has to be on the homepage of your website. Everything does not have to be on there, but it is something that you can show, and that is another type of social proof.
Yeah, and I mean, really, it can also be like just resharing somebody else's stuff. Like I had a guy that I've never met before, but apparently he's got some sort of blogging page that he does, and he's come through and took a bunch of pictures, and he's very good about tagging the museum.
Cool.
And so I see it, right? And every time he does, I'll reshare it. And I do kind of a similar thing for other businesses. Like we did the restaurants to go eat at in Clarksville and other places to stay. And I go out there and I share that stuff. And most of these businesses don't do it.
It's not always going to be reciprocated.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay, and that shouldn't get you down to not do it. Like I would still
But
keep
when
trying
you
to
see
do
it done, like definitely, like it's worth then resharing their stuff, because they might do
on it too.
Yeah, they might do it even more.
And we talk about this, so these are ways that you can network on social media. And I don't think people really realize that you can network. This isn't just talking with your customers or answering questions. Like there's more that you can do. Like if Sean and I went out to lunch in Clarksville or something, we could, as Miles Through Time, do a post about wow, and show some pictures about, hey, we went to the Copper Pot and had excellent pizza and wings, and show pictures of it. And so that way now Miles Through Time is connected to the Copper Pot, and so we've made that connection there, and then hopefully they would in turn share it. And it's a way that you start to connect other businesses and other people, and you can always do this, and that's going to help you get in front of their audience and them get in front of you. And it's a way that you can build your audience and build your social proof. So you may be wondering, like, how can you actually start working on some of this stuff? Because I know that you're busy. We're busy too. But one thing that you can do is just to add some of this to just your normal process. So after the sale, ask for a review. Ask for these types of things. Ask for people to tag your business. You have it in some of the Miles Through Time stuff, don't you? Or if somebody takes pictures there, do you ask them to tag you?
Yeah, if I'm there, I definitely tell them to do that, because again, it's not a very common thing for people apparently to go out and do on their own. But also, like when I get their email and I email them, that I'll ask for reviews on every single email, just to keep in front of them and letting them know, hey, if you haven't done it, I still need it. And TripAdvisor for Miles Through Time is the big one that I want to get reviews for, because I think people for that, they're real quick to leave a review on Google, which is great, but we have a lot of them. It's the one that I'm trying to emphasize on that I've really got to ask people to do, because they're not really doing it on their own too often.
So again, like you have to ask people because people don't know. People don't know if they should review you on Google or on Facebook or on TripAdvisor. So really you have to be a little bit more proactive about this stuff, because if you're just reactive about it and just, react to the bad reviews that you get in, like it's not going to help you get momentum. And so the more you can ask, the more you will get. Another thing that you can do is incentivize your customers. You can have little contests for reviews, or contests, like we said, about like tagging or sharing pictures, different things that you can do to encourage people to interact with your business a little bit more.
Everybody wants to win something.
Everybody does.
So,
and then when people see that they're posting pictures, they're like, oh, I didn't even realize I should post pictures. I'll post my pictures too. And it's one of those, like when people see that other people are doing it, it's going to be more of a snowball effect to get people to actually start doing it as well.
Right.
The more reviews you have, the more reviews you will get, because people will see that they're leaving reviews, and so more people will leave reviews. The more people that post pictures for your business, like more people will do that as well. So you really just have to get it going and make it part of your process, make it part of the way that you do business, and yeah. Did you know that we have new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday where we talk about stuff just like this, where you can market your business much smarter? We also have lots of tools and resources at TorieMathis.com that you can go and check out, and a lot of them are for free. We really want to help businesses grow. We want you to be smarter about your marketing. We want you to use your money wisely, use your time wisely, finally figure out how to use social media. And a lot of these things, like you can do these things yourself. You do not need a huge budget. You don't need a marketing department. You don't need a marketing agency to handle this stuff for you. These are things that you can do, and we're here to help you out. We want to help out business owners. We're business owners too. Like, we understand that it's a little bit difficult. So we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.
Later.